Hello and welcome to my next smartwatch review. Today we have the E810 Smartwatch. Now what I'm going to do in this first segment is take this out of the box and show you what comes out of the box. And then I'm going to go away, charge it up fully, wear it for multiple days, if not a week or two, and then come back with my full, fair, honest, and informed review. Now, I bought this with my own money, and by my own money, I mean the small amount of ad revenue this YouTube channel generates, and that allows me to invest that money right back into the channel to buy more health tech and gear for reviews. I focus on kayaking-related activities, but I have a special interest in smartwatches, backpacks, hiking boots, hiking poles, anything that has to do with the outdoors. So we have a user manual out of the box. It looks like the app is going to be Healthware. That is a familiar app. It has a charging cable that will snap onto the back magnetically somehow right there. The other end will plug into a charging brick. Let me scoot some of the packaging out of the way here and zoom in a little bit with my old-fashioned camera and see if we can't get a better look. All right, so let's peel off that protector on the screen. This is a curved watch, as you can see, slightly curved screen. It's got a crown that let's press and hold and see if there's any battery life out of the box here. And nothing is happening, so I'm going to go with, well, before we do that, let me press the bottom one. Yeah, the bottom one doesn't press. That's just an ECG sensor. So the top one actually presses in, and oh, there it vibrated. So something's happening there. It came to life. So it does have some battery life out of the box. I'm not going to get into the specs of this watch at this point until I fully review it, but there's going to be another protective screen on the back. Always make sure you remove those so all sensors come in contact with your skin. This watch will have laser therapy in it, and let's see if we just can't get that to come on here pretty quickly just to show you. And I'm curious to see if the lasers actually turn on and are functional. So there you see them. Yep, it's not against my skin, so it's not going to turn on, so you're not free launching lasers into your eyes. But if you look carefully for the split second, I press that laser therapy button. You see the red lasers come on there. And that's a safety feature. But yeah, I'm going to go away, charge this up, wear it, and then come back with my full, fair, and honest review. This review will come right after this review, and this watch is the ET593 that's been on my wrist for a couple weeks. And I'm going to stick around after you disappear for a few seconds here, and I'm going to do a full review of this smartwatch, the 593, while I go put this one, the E810, on the charging cable and charge it up. So hopefully when I'm done with the current review, I'll be able to slap this one on my wrist, wear it for a couple weeks, and bring you that review. So yeah, hang tight. You're going to see the rest of this review in just a couple seconds through the magic of editing. Okay, so let's get into this watch. I've been wearing it for several weeks, and that's like a couple thousand miles of traveling for me too. So I wanted to really put it through its paces and, you know, really get to know it before I did this review. I'm going to turn up the screen brightness and the screen time to the maximum so it's not constantly turning off during this review. Here is where you would get to the raise your wrist feature. You can set up some cards in here. Basically, when you scroll through the watch, you can choose which of these cards you want available through swiping. And to get to this menu, what I did was I just, from the main screen, I swiped down, and then you go into settings here. Screen display, do not disturb mode, system menu. That's like you can shut this watch off, you can shut it down, restart it, or restore the factory settings. Choose your language. You can choose to turn your vibration on, strong or weak or nothing. Interface style, here's where you choose kind of your type of menu. I like vertical, just for me. I like to be able to scroll up and down and read. That's the type of menu system I'm most familiar with. Time setting, this is one of those smartwatches where you can set the day and time right from the watch. You don't necessarily have to sync it with your phone and the app, so that's where you would set the time and the date. QR code for installing the software. This has an SOS feature that you can turn on, and there's that about screen. Again, it's the E810 Smartwatch. Now, if we go to the main screen, I'm going to swipe through all those cards or tiles. Here is your summary of your steps walked, the temperature outside. It will pull the weather in from your phone when you sync and when you're tethered. Estimated distance walked and your estimated kilocalorie burn. Okay, here is that laser therapy, and you can set the laser therapy times to whatever you would like, essentially. I showed you that at the unboxing, but either 3, 5, or 10 minutes. And when you do this measurement, you should wear it on the inside of your wrist near your palm. They say that's the thinnest skin to apply that laser therapy to. Microphysical, it'll basically do a whole bunch of these health measurements all at the same time, and I'm going to just keep scrolling through here so you can see what those are. But basically, it will take your heart rate in beats per minute. This will do continuous heart rate, and again, you can set the intervals that you want it to do that. It does blood oxygen saturation, or SpO2. With this, it uses the red diodes, which I like a lot. I think the red diodes are more accurate for SpO2. Here's the blood pressure. Here's your temperature. Again, body temperature estimated from skin temperature, which is what it's measuring. Here's your EKG. You would press here and then put your finger on that electrode, and it will do that electrocardiogram, which is pretty cool. Here's your HRV measurement to take on demand. Here is your blood sugar or blood glucose feature. Again, that was a hidden feature in this watch that I had to turn on when I first got it, and I bought this from Banggood. I actually was almost going to return it because it didn't have blood glucose on it, or so I thought. And then they told me, well, it's a hidden feature you have to enable, and I went through the steps and figured out how to enable it, and yeah, shazam, there it was. All right, HRV, blood sugar, blood fat in milligrams per deciliter. You can change those units as well, and it will measure your uric acid somehow. This is not a medical device, so don't treat it as such. These numbers are for reference only. It cannot diagnose any medical condition or health condition. If you swipe up, you get to your SMS messages, and they pull in just fine. You have to be tethered to your phone via Bluetooth and be within distance. It pulls these in, but there's no way to reply or even send simple replies or anything like that. But that does work. I'll swipe back down. Here you see we're connected via Bluetooth. Let's press this button twice now from the main screen. You can get to your telephone. This has a built-in speaker and microphone, so it acts as a remote phone calling device when tethered with your phone and within Bluetooth range. And I've tested this, and it works just fine. There are the calls. Oh, it's making one now. Let me turn that off. Call logs, contacts. It's got a music controller. You can control the music on your phone. Information. Okay, that's just the SMS messages. Weather, again, it will pull this in when you sync it with your phone. Respiratory rates, stopwatch, timer, alarm clock, find your phone, calendar. It's got a calculator. It's got a voice assistant here. Flashlight, let's talk about this for a minute. This smartwatch has a flashlight feature like none I've ever seen before, where you can choose what type of light you have. All right, so you have a bright light here, and then you have what they call a night light, which is a dimmer light. See the difference there? Bright, dim. All right, bright, dim. And then you can do a warning light. And this is just like a beacon light to, if you're lost and need a signal, you can use that. And then this one has a really cool SOS mode where you tap that, and this is just going to beep out as a beacon SOS over and over and over again. So in a survival emergency situation, that is a great feature. And I like this flashlight feature on this watch because it has these different modes in there. All right, and you see That right there is where the light comes out. That is the flashlight. And if you're wearing this on your left wrist, it's oriented in the correct position. And I've used this several times as a nightlight. I've stayed over the holidays in a room with my family and had to navigate a hotel room in the dark, and this was the perfect tool for that job without waking anybody up. So I really like the flashlight. You can use this as a remote camera trigger from your phone and take pictures on your phone. You basically just shake it, and then here is your various setup options on the watch. So it's a nice screen. It's 1.29 inches. It's an AMOLED display. This has that 650 nanometer laser therapy. It will do your heart rate, blood pressure, blood glucose, SpO2, blood fat, HRV, flashlight mode, signal light, SMS messages, EKG or ECG, sleep tracking, sport tracking. I paid $46 for this on Banggood. Let me show you the app and then I'll come back with my final thoughts. Okay, the app here is called Healthware. All right, and it is a pretty slick app. It's easy to navigate, easy to understand, easy to see where things are. First of all, if you go into the little Mine, M-I-N-E, symbol, you see the device you're connected to. It'll give you your battery life, some health assistance functions, and as I mentioned earlier, initially when this watch arrived, the blood glucose feature was turned off, and there was a series of steps I had to do to connect the watch, disconnect it, and then toggle on this blood sugar risk assessment. And then it turned on that hidden blood glucose feature, so there's where you would do that. If we go to the main page here, you have your step count for the day, estimated kilocalorie burn, there's your goal and number of steps for what you're shooting for, an estimate of mileage walked, and then you have your ECG measurements, and you can take a look at your history of your EKG or ECG records, and take a look at all the ones you've done, and it will basically, it'll tell you whether, let's just find one here. Let's pick maybe one from, let's go here. And it just gives you your strip chart recorder, and it'll give you a diagnosis. It'll tell you if your results are normal, if you're in a danger zone. There's HRV, pressure, that's kind of a stress measurement, body index, parasympathetic, sympathetic, respiratory rate. And then it'll look and make some quote-unquote health assessments, even though this is not a medical device and cannot diagnose any medical issues. It has some numbers and gives you some codes for detecting AFib, ventricular flutter, atrial escape, atrial premature beats, ventricular premature beats, ventricular escape, junction premature beats, junction escape, left bundle branch block, and right bundle branch block. Okay, so that's that. And then you have your sleep assessment. This is the night before. It gives you your amount of deep sleep, light sleep, REM sleep, and it gives you like a sleep analysis. How good is your sleep? You can go back and look at the days and weeks and months, and you see I've been wearing this watch for several weeks. I feel this one especially, I wanted to really test it really well before I did this review. Here is your heart rate, your blood pressure, and again, you can track your measurements over the days and weeks and months. They're all recorded here, all right? And you can set the time interval that you want these to take. I have it set to take every hour right now, and let's take a look at that. When you look at those, it will give you an assessment here too of your risk and whether it's normal or anything you need to watch out for. All right, there's your blood glucose trace and your week, your day, your month, so you can kind of see what's happening there. And your SpO2, that's blood oxygen saturation. Here is your temperature. This measures skin temperature and then estimates body temperature. You can set an alarm for that too. If it detects you're running a fever, you can have it buzz to give you an alert. Here's your blood fat. And it gives you a blood fat analysis here. It says mine is in the normal range. Continue to keep it where it is. Your history record here. And, you know, you can just take a look at all of these and see where that is. And then you have HRV, or heart rate variability. You've got your various sports modes in here: running, fitness, cycling, rope skipping, basketball. There's a bunch you can choose to start from the app itself. And then you can add some friends if you wish. So the app is pretty good. I like it. Very straightforward. Again, it's called Healthware. So there you go. That was the app. This is the E810 Smartwatch. With all the features I just previously listed, I happen to really, really like this watch. And for $46, I think it's a solid value. I'll drop a link below. Go check it out on Banggood. And, you know, if you're so minded, leave a comment. Subscribe to this channel on YouTube. Tell others about it. Leave a comment. That all helps me spread the word and get these reviews out to more and more people. Otherwise, feel free to come check me out at davethekayaker.com. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I appreciate you so much.